Hello, my lovely Sages. Okay, so the song that I heard for you this week carried some of that melodic, soft, flowing quality that I remember starting with last week for you. And that carries with me from spirit that sense of gentleness, that sense of support, that sense of wanting to really be to make you aware of the fact that whatever you're going through now, whatever difficulties you're facing, that you have support. You've got the head over heels card. What if you knew that God was totally head over heels in love with you, no matter what you did, said, thought, believed of yourself, that you've got that level of divine love, that everything about you right now is blessed. And you're being asked to really please be very careful about how you speak about yourself, but also how you speak about others, because that is in contradiction to your true heart. And so that language that is difficult, that is harsh, aimed at anybody, is going to not resonate well with you. It's going to be an energy downer for you, okay? And it's important for you right now to do what you can do to keep your energy balanced, to look at what it is you can do for yourself right now so that you don't go into overwhelm. That you have the ability now to look at things from the past. Now, the reason that I'm saying that is because the song that came to mind was "A Change is Going to Come." And the essence of that song really is about a black man. I mean, it was written in the 60s around the civil rights movement. It was written by Sam Cooke. And so the first verse is, "I was born by the river in a little tent, and oh, just like the river, I've been running ever since." But then it goes on to talk about whatever hardships there are, a change is going to come. It's actually a very hopeful song. And that, I feel, is what I want to say to you about this. There are two things that struck me about this song as I was looking at the lyrics. Well, two things that struck me about this song. The first thing is the beautiful flowing quality of this song, the hopeful quality of the song, but the music itself flowing and fluid and supportive. And again, that water image for you, like there was last week. What we've also got is he's talking about being born by the river and running ever since. And that to me feels like what a lot of my Sagittarian people have lived. That, and I want to be clear here, of course, because this won't be for the entire collective. And even though it's for July 14th or whenever it resonates, what I feel like this is talking about, while it may be referencing a situation that you're going through now, what I really feel they're telling us is this: that whatever caused the tendency to run to make things better, run to help people, run to always be the one managing things, one to be achieving, one to be taking care of every situation. Whatever led you to that, you're getting a chance to look at that. You're getting a chance to be able to use whatever the situation is now to go back and look at what was it that formed that behavior for you, and what is it you can do now for yourself to say, this, I am now choosing that I'm going to let this attitude go, that attitude go, this behavior go, this whatever, letting this go. And again, I believe that's a theme from last week for you. What you're being told here, my dears, is by creating a little bit of a discipline for yourself, a discipline in terms of creating positive rituals for yourself. And I say the word ritual because I feel like it needs to be repetitive. I feel like there needs to be some kind of anchoring for you into kind, loving behaviors for yourself. And as I say that, I'm getting very much that sense of part of that discipline is you please remembering to connect to divine love and to let that divine love in and to remember that spirit is there to help you. You've got the head over heels card right next to pain and overwhelm. The good news about this is once some of these things become clear, once you start really understanding where they came from, it allows you to accept the past for what it was, forgive what needs to be forgiven if it does, and to move on and to move forward. But Sag, my goodness, a lot of the times the person that most needs to be forgiven is you yourself. You need to forgive yourself for not being able to have lived up to that standard that you set for yourself when you were a child or when you were a younger person. Or whether it was set by you or set for you, it's something that you took on as part of your role, as part of your value, as part of what you were supposed to do. Now, Sag, my goodness, you are service-oriented in many ways, and service-oriented in the way of helping people and being good for people, being there for people. And I feel like I want to say to you, Spirit would like to give you all the love you've never given yourself. Spirit would like you to please, just for a moment, stop and imagine that if all the caring and loving and running around and efforting that you have done for everybody else, now you can just sit and say, I accept it back from benevolent spirit. I am grateful and I accept it back with no guilt for receiving it, with no resistance to receiving it, if you can let it flow through you like water. It's interesting because last week it was being supported by water because I read the blurb, and this week it's letting the water flow through you. It's divine water, it's holy water, it's cleansing water, it's transformation. It is you lifting up. It's literally like this sacred water dropping deeply into you, where it gets to soften, release, and dissolve whatever has been holding you back from feeling that in your life, from feeling the peace of love in your life, the peace of acceptance, the peace of acceptance and love and being seen and being supported and feeling supported, because that's the thing is, my gosh, so much of the time it's been you supporting everybody else because of all these other things. So it's not blaming any of the people that you supported. It's acknowledging the fact that you probably sought out situations in which you could continue to play out this role, which was linked to your identity and your sense of value and purpose. And that's not so different from, I think, what many of us do. There's an unconscious playing out of those values that we incorporated when we were so young, before we had the understanding about what it meant to be loved by ourselves. Because let's face it, that's something that didn't get talked about. We talk about confidence and bravery and stuff like that, but certainly, I mean, I'm sure that I'm older than many of you I'm reading for, but this is not something that I remember really being widely spoken about until the last 10 years, which is really, what is the spirituality of self-love? It's foundational to being able to see through a clear lens, to be able to make choices that are in alignment with your heart, because your true heart is the one that loves you. And your true heart is going to guide you to those situations and choices that are going to be in alignment with your well-being and your divine consciousness, your higher consciousness, your divine purpose. So, Sag, I feel like this is actually a really powerful time for you in a really lovingly transformational way. I feel once again like you're being told you have the support. If you can, if it's time for you, because it won't be time for all of you, if it's time for you to look back at the situations, attitudes that restrained your ability to look at yourself and care for yourself first. If you're able to look back and understand that you may have been living a lot of your life in a state of overwhelm, and that it can change, that you have the capacity to change that, and that it doesn't mean you lose any of the good qualities you've come to admire. It just means you learn to be able to apply them differently, and apply them first and foremost from your own state of well-being, and that is a sacred thing. That is not a selfish thing, that is a sacred thing. And that is like, they're being really adamant about this. Sag, I'm going to leave you with this now. I'm going to add one little bit, and that is, I talked about my age, and we have to realize that when we're reading for a variety of ages, and that what might be relevant to somebody at a younger period of time, because of still being in the process of becoming more conscious and more aware of what they've lived already. The lessons may not be as obvious to somebody who's my age as to somebody who's 30 or 20, right? So take this all with the understanding that everybody's at different levels, but the essential message is the same. The faster you can learn to really genuinely love yourself and understand it as part of your spiritual journey, a valuable, essential part of your spiritual journey, the more easily you're going to be able to navigate anything from the past that comes up. The more you're going to be able to understand how the past has affected you and make different choices. And the more you're going to be able to move forward in alignment with this new energy, which is where you're going, Sag. I don't care whatever age you're at. Okay? Thank you so much, my dears. I leave you with that. Take care.